Hello, everybody, and welcome. Today, I am kicking off a new mini series that I am calling Living the Astrology Out Loud. Part one is going to be all about Mercury and mastering its influence. So, why living the astrology out loud, and why did I choose Mercury to start with? Well, first of all, I've been getting a lot of questions or just curiosity about how do you actually day in and day out work with the astrology? What does that look like outside of content creation or planning? And so I thought it would be powerful to share with you my process and how I approach different aspects of the astrology that are really vital to our business. So Mercury is a great place to start, and especially because today, when I'm recording this video, we have some really powerful connections of Mercury with the Sun and Mercury with Saturn. So it's very much on my mind, which is very much Mercury. So when we think about Mercury, Mercury guides our mental energy and how we approach tasks, goals. It's our mindset. It influences how we communicate. And when we look at our own personal chart, we can really see how you do all of those things. But as Mercury moves with the Sun and creates its orbit, which it goes around 3+ times a year, we have different influences depending on where it is compared to the Sun that are impacting us. And so we want to know, it's just so it's a powerful, if you did nothing, I say this about the Sun. The Sun is one of the easiest ways to focus, but Mercury closely follows the Sun, and it's either a little behind or a little ahead. And the more clear our thinking is, the more we can focus and move things forward on our goals. And when our thinking isn't as clear, the more that energy turns inward. All of that is so important to be able to leverage the energy of the Sun. And so this is just another beautiful opportunity to work with cycles. At the end of the day, this is about cycles. I thought I could just talk about the upcoming Mercury retrograde in Aries that's happening in April, but to not show you the breadth and the power of the entire Mercury cycle, pre, post, direct, felt like I'd be leaving a lot on the table. So we're going to dive right in. I want to keep these videos short, sweet, to the point, and show you what I'm working with each week. And then I'll do some recaps so you can follow me here in the Facebook group, or I will have this series also on YouTube, so you can like and subscribe or join the group and make sure you don't miss a beat with this one. So let's look at what's going on and what am I doing with Mercury today based on where it is in the sky and what aspects it's making. So Mercury is hanging out with the Sun. It has caught up to the Sun. And so we have this moment where Mercury's in the spotlight. You could call it a moment of, my mentor calls it a period of mental purification. We have an opportunity to become really clear on our goals and what's most important. So what am I doing today? I've been I've had a number of calls talking through what I'm focused on, what I'm going to put my energy towards, and what I feel like is most important. And if you're wondering, if you're listening to this and did I miss the boat here? You're probably already doing this. I find with my clients that these things happen a bit naturally. So, but this energy lasts until February 29th, 4:11 a.m. Pacific. And you can feel it on either side. I am going to dive in as we go along this series of what it means for folks when you have Mercury natally direct in your chart versus retrograde, because there are some differences. I have it natally direct. So my experience, what I'm working on is using that energy, but everybody has this point today, Sun and Mercury in the same spot. What happens after today will differ depending on what you've got. And I'm going to bring in some of my clients. I have a number of them because about a third of you on average have Mercury natally retrograde in your chart. I'm going to bring in my clients over the next few weeks so we can look at both sides of the equation. All right, what else is happening with Mercury today? It is also hanging out with our friend Saturn. Saturn gets a bad rap. Saturn's the taskmaster. Saturn says, put your energy and effort here and it will reap rewards. Saturn shows us where we need to do the work. So when it is hanging out with Saturn, Mercury is hanging out with Saturn, we have an ability to really focus and plan, especially if you've got, something, what you want to work on. I am really clear right now of what I want to work on. I've got a project that came clear to me this week in terms of supporting folks with their launch plans. And so I'm taking action. I have the mental clarity to work with it. So this week for me, knowing these two aspects are happening, I'm really diving into creating, what's the goal? Where do I want to be? Name it, claim it, saying, I'm doing market research for this, this idea I have for an offer to support people using astrological data to amplify their results with their launches. And by the way, if that's you, raise your hand, who launches multiple times a year. I want to pick your brain. But outside of that, so these aspects, these are how I'm using this energy. So this doesn't happen just today. Mercury meets the sun multiple times a year. It's a cycle. And so we have this opportunity again and again we get clear, we take action, and then we slow down. Mercury will fall back behind the sun. We will start to rest and review, and then we get more clarity. We move forward, we get a lot done, and then we slow it down again. So again, I will map all this out for you so you can visually see it, because I think it's fascinating and it is a powerful cycle to work with in your business. So welcome to the Living Astrology Out Loud series. If there's things that you would love to know and see how I work with astrology, I will be happy to share those. This series is going to go through April. So for the next 60 days, I'm going to take you through an entire Mercury cycle from Sun conjunction to Sun conjunction and show you how I'm working with the energy. All right, quick recap. What am I doing with Mercury this week? I am really focused on the goals that are really clear to me, what I want to work on. I'm making sure that I'm doing it with intention. So I'm not trying to bite off more than I can chew right now, because what I know is my mind's going to speed up and I'm going to think I can do more than I can. And so I'm really getting clear and using this energy to find the clarity of what it is I want to focus on, what is super clear to me right now that I want to move the meter on in my business, and setting plans and intentions to take action on it if I haven't already, which in some cases I have. In other cases, I know what I need and I'm pulling in those resources. So welcome again to Living Out Loud. And I am excited to share this series with you. And I'd love to know if you work with Mercury retrograde, leave me a comment or Mercury in general. It's not just retrogrades. That's why I want to talk about this, because it's so powerful. But I promise to try to keep these short. So I'm going to keep it to that. Under 10 minutes is my goal. Most of them will be even shorter than this. But again, welcome to the series. And I will see you soon with more.